Hi, it's Ileana. So I'm going to be discussing the Spooky2 central generator with running the plasma session remotely for the healing frequencies. And this was using my nail clippings, because nail clippings hold DNA. And I had very short nails. So even short nails, if there's some nail on your fingers, that could be a deposit as DNA and nail clippings to use on the Spooky2 central generator, and to do a remote healing session, to do an entrainment of frequencies for healing. So I started doing some experimentation with the fellow for who I'd done the energy healing exchange. I wanted to see what happens when you try basically temporomandibular joint disorders frequency. And this is a program that was running outside my body frequencies. This is a pre-imprinted frequency that comes from the Rife machine, from Spooky2 database of disorders. I have TMJ. I have temporomandibular joint disorder, where basically I have the disc displacement in my jaw and it clicks and pops and moves the wrong way. So I have that. So we tried to do that particular frequency on it. And it's in the database. So if somebody downloads the Spooky2 software and you do a search for it, it's in the database. It has its own specific frequency, which was too high for me. It caused me to start sweating and to have a migraine. So I immediately knew the frequency was too high. Then we tried a program for reducing acid buildup in the body, and like my skin started burning. I started getting a fever. I started losing my hearing. I had hearing loss. And I totally don't have that disorder. So it was a genetic disorder for too much acid buildup in the body, because I have acid reflux, so I'm producing more acid than I should in my mouth, but it's not that particular disorder. So my body just rejected the high frequency for the acid disorder. It totally said, that's not it. That's not the right frequency for your body. Don't ever use that. Because, again, I was sweating. My head felt so much pressure. I was starting to lose my hearing. And I felt like my body was burning at that frequency. So it was the total wrong frequency for me. Because what the Spooky2 does, it does a scan on your body to see what natural frequencies of your own body work for you, for your healing. And my natural frequencies are from 10 to 100. That's what I'm comfortable naturally for that entrainment healing frequency, running to heal me remotely, using a bit of plasma from the coil and just sitting from the nails. The plasma amplifies the DNA to do the remote entrainment healing session. So what we learned is that I'm super sensitive to plasma from the Spooky2, and I'm very sensitive to frequencies in the programs that are outside of my natural frequency rhythm, to what my body is attuned to. So if it's running from a preset program at higher frequencies beyond 100, it's a no-go. My body rejects it. I'm like a tuning antenna. So it's really interesting how my body reacts. So the statement I made is that I am like a walking antenna. Anything happens somewhere, my body knows about it and tracks it back to the source. If nothing bugs its electromagnetic field frequency, then it behaves. Otherwise, it starts looking for the source of what it perceives is the intruder or feels bad and tells me to shut it down. So basically, my body is a tuner frequency. It picks up all frequencies, all signals from the universe, and I can feel if somebody is like, I know if somebody is lying to me, if somebody's being mind controlled or hiding secrets, I can feel those frequencies and it feels bad to my body. As well, I can tell if somebody's psychically attacking me or sending me nasty signals or messages through electromagnetic frequencies or ultrasound waves, any type of frequency that feels awful to me, I'll know about it because my body will react and it'll go off. It'll start having weird symptoms of being overheated, of burning up, of having a migraine, of having pressure in the brain, losing hearing, having double-sided vision that goes blurry. So my body is very sensitive to frequencies. And we were just joking with the person running the Spooky2 machine that that my DNA is not completely human, that I have ET DNA because of my sensitivities. And I said, yeah, that's actually true. I do have non-human DNA, and I don't consider myself fully human. So I'm sensitive to frequencies. And often people who have galactic souls with a lot of different ET DNA mixed in with some of their human genomic sequences, they're sensitive. Their electromagnetic fields of their body, of their aura, is more sensitive to things, to outside stimuli in the environment, to frequencies, to devices, even healing devices, apparently, like what we learned about my body. And so I could tell when the Spooky2 was turned up to a high frequency for that acid treatment, healing treatment to reduce acid, and for joint TMJ disorder treatment. It was just too high. The frequencies were too high, and then we tried a 250 frequency, which is part of my own biorhythm healing frequency in my body, but I was still sweating and getting a migraine, so it was too high for me. So we're trying to take little breaks between the remote healing sessions and the entrainment of the chronic pain for the joints in the body. So I can only work with my own natural body frequencies, which is between 10 and 100, that I don't feel the machine being turned on. If it goes to 250, I can feel the machine, even remotely. I know it's on. When somebody turns on something that bothers my body's electromagnetic field frequencies, I will know about it instantly. So it's like, yeah, my psychic abilities are also tuned to my body. It's just interesting. It's called my extra sensing abilities. It's connected to my body frequency somehow. That extra sensing abilities, or psychic abilities, or psionic abilities. So it was interesting to see what I would pick up in the Spooky2 frequencies and what I wouldn't pick up, and how my body reacted. So it's still the same process, because I had a frequency scan done in their first session in person with the Spooky2 Generator X, the portable one. where my frequencies, my natural biorhythm body frequencies were scanned, just a scan to see what my body is good with, which frequencies. So those original unfamiliar frequencies that came out of the scan results, those are the only frequencies we can work with for healing me. Not from anything else in the program database of the Spooky2. And it has 50,000 different healing programs it can run for disorders, diseases, genetic things. The frequency is still unknown. My own biorhythm frequency, what the machine picked up. That's the only thing I can work with for my healing, my own frequencies. Nothing else in the database, because it could make me feel very uncomfortable at high frequencies. Anything beyond 100 is a no-go for me. So that was good. I know what I can work with the Rife technology, with the Spooky2. So that's the results, and I did get my complete list of everything that the Spooky2 generated from the scan of my body. And when I looked at those disorders, none of those applied to me except the TMJ and potentially the acid stuff. But the acid was a no-go. My body's like, nope, that's not it. And I did better with the joints, but even the joints is completely not like where the source of the root cause of the hypermobility of the joints is coming from. It's not the complete root cause. That's what I learned. So it was an interesting experiment, and I got to learn a lot about Rife healing technology. So that's the results that I got, and I just wanted to share that. And anybody who has like physical chronic pain, their shoulder hurts, they have urinary tract problems, hip pain, migraines, I encourage you to try doing a session with a practitioner, with an experienced practitioner who knows how to do in-person healing sessions with the Spooky2 and remote healing sessions, like entrainment for chronic pain, healing chronic pain with frequency healing of entrainment healing sessions that, take a few hours to do. There's also the zapping of viruses and bacterials where you zap it with the frequency, but that's not entrainment. Entrainment is longer sessions than the zapping. So I just wanted to share that today. So thank you so much, and namaste.